iCkEdMeL is a true crime YouTube superstar with over 200,000 subscribers and 53 million views. Mel joins us to talk about how he got started on YouTube, how he found his niche, his amazing community, and where he plans to take the channel in the future. Join us for this exclusive Advertising Week creator interview with iCkEdMeL.
So maybe we could start by hearing the origin story of your YouTube channel.
The origin story, well, I mean, right before my daughter was born, I just kind of wanted to try something different besides the 9 to 5, and I wanted to kind of experiment and have fun and kind of chase my dreams and kind of maybe show her you don't have to follow in those steps. And so I started experimenting by sharing my experience as a first-time dad, and also I started testing and like assembling all these baby products, and I just started posting the videos. And then eventually there was this, I think it was a baby named Corey Brown, and he had passed away in a daycare, and I had just ended up covering that, and it just all kind of snowballed into like what I do now, like true crime and missing persons and CPS and all that stuff, and parents.
And so how long were you doing like a dad channel before the transition?
Not that long, probably a couple months, probably several months, and then just little bits and trickles of that parenting stuff, and then the missing persons. It was quite a while, maybe a year or something. I didn't really start doing this like what I'm doing now probably until like maybe 2 years after or something. It took a lot of just kind of throwing paint at the wall and seeing what sticks.
Yeah, and then when you started doing true crime and missing persons cases, was it live streaming or was it videos to start?
It was a mix of both. And at that time, nothing really in particular kind of stuck, because what ended up really taking things off is when I kind of started covering trending topics in the news that people wanted to know about that was happening right now. When I started doing like current events, that's when things really picked up and changed.
Was there one case that was like an inflection point for you where things really started to take off?
I feel like I've had a few inflection points. There was Botham Jean, which was like a Texas story that this police officer shot this guy in the apartment. There was Malia Davis, which was another Texas story where the stepfather had killed her. And that story kind of got messy because there was a person that was selling shirts of the girl but wasn't authorized by the family. And not only was she selling the shirts, but she was not sending the shirts and keeping the profit. And then all these Texas people started reaching out to me. It was a whole mess. And so I got involved, and then this person tried to, because they got upset, tried to get me fired. So they called my job.
Oh, because you were still working a normal job at this time.
I was still working a normal job, and I had a LinkedIn. And so she easily traced it back to where I work. She called human resources, like the CEO, like all this crazy stuff.
No.
Yeah, I was pretty afraid, and my job actually stuck on my side, and they were able to find out that she was lying, because she said that I was calling her from my job, and they could actually check that, and I wasn't. So that was one of those inflection points too. And then Gabby Petito.
So that was like the Gabby Petito case was almost 2 years ago now. We're coming up on, I think. Right?
Yeah.
And that seemed to, because that's when I started following you, and that is where everything just went wild, right?
Yeah. Quite a few people tell me that that's when they first started watching, and I actually met her family at CrimeCon.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Amazing. So how long prior to doing YouTube full time were you doing YouTube and also working a normal job? Because a lot of creators struggle with, you have a dream, you have somewhere you want to get to, but to get there, you still have to balance all of the responsibilities that you have, before your YouTube life. Right.
I would say probably like at like 100K around there is where I was able to, and I had money saved up. For a long time, I was doing 40-hour job, like no sleep, like killing myself, just kind of like sometimes just sacrificing, miserable, just pushing through. And eventually when it actually happened during COVID, because they had sent us all to work from home, and then my job had let us go. And so they gave us a severance check. And so I figured, you know what, let me just I just took the leap. I was already at 100K, and actually me being able to do it full time made me grow even more. And I got more viewership, just everything, revenue, everything increased once I actually fully focused on YouTube.
Really interesting. And I think, you know, a lot of people, when they're thinking about doing something that they want to do, but also being able to pay their bills and make it, you know, month to month, they take the easy check, or they take the guaranteed check, but really what they're doing is like kicking the can down the road to pursue their dream. So when you initially, you know, COVID happened and you were furloughed and then you got let go, was there a lot of fear initially, and you're thinking maybe I need to go just find another job and keep doing what I'm doing, versus like doubling down and going after YouTube?
There was a bit of fear at first. I was actually living at my mother's at the time for a while, so I had money saved.
That helps.
And I was at my mother's. Right? Yeah. And so I was able to, if something went wrong, I could try to work something out with her probably. But honestly, like a year after that, I just left. I moved out. I had money saved. The thing with YouTube also is like we're getting paid once a month, so you really have to manage your money. I mean, like if you're getting paid this month, it's from the month before. Everything's like on a month delay type of thing, and so you really have to manage your finances, or you could be in trouble. Like I would say, you have to save for like months to be like okay, you know, because you can have ups and downs. You don't know what's going to happen. Were
there periods after you made the decision to do YouTube full time where like after a long day you're like, this is a bad move, man, or you regretted it?
There was times that I had joked about like going to work at McDonald's, or just I've thought a few times that I might have to go get a regular job because of like the ups and downs. And so you have to like one of the things that worked out great for me was Facebook, like actually posting on Facebook, doing live streams on Facebook. It's not
expanding to another platform.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's like so reliable, Facebook, but like in the short term, you can make a pretty decent amount of money. And sometimes it's, I mean, there was one year I actually made more on Facebook than I made on YouTube, which was pretty shocking.
And that was during the Johnny Depp trial?
Johnny Depp, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you've covered so many incredible cases. And I think part of the reason that you have so many fans is you've also built a great community, a very positive community. Was your community always as friendly and happy and supportive as they are now? Because it seems like an anomaly for a lot of YouTube creators to have such a positive community.
I think for the most part, I think it's been pretty good. There's been people that's come and go. I mean, there's been little incidents of people that like I thought were like, oh, they're really nice and they're cool, and then the next thing you know, like I remember one guy, he got upset I didn't reply to a few of his emails. Then he started like wishing death upon me and my daughter, wishing cancer. Like some people were really they seem really, really nice, and then the next thing you know, it's like they hope you die type of thing. You know. So but I think the community aspect is just really, really it's been beneficial. And then, you know, we have a Discord too, so if I'm not online, people can also, we have a community offline, even though it's online, but like somewhere else outside of YouTube where people talk about their day and, you know, what they're doing. And so I think that's helped out a lot too.
How about for you to have such a supportive community? And because it seems like also you're able to kind of pull back the curtains and talk a little bit about your life. It's not always just about what's going on, but you have a really personal, kind of intimate relationship with your fans as well.
I think that's what they like about me. I think sometimes that could be a little double-edged sword sometimes, where you're revealing maybe too much of yourself, because I think most people are well-intentioned, but then you have some other people that maybe are trying to find out where you live, trying to find your family, or have other things. So it's like this weird balance sometimes, but I think that is a lot of the draw, that like I'm very like personable and like open, and like, you know, I say their names, or I know about their spouse or their pet that died, like something, you know, it does become I guess they could say like a parasocial type of thing of relationship. And sometimes too, I've had people that have supported me, their family member has died, and I'll maybe post a picture of them if they want me to. Like I make them a part of the channel. I think that's why we have such a community.